Good morning, seniors and dear friends. This is our first solo webinar from new team of AOGS under the leadership of Dr. Rajalben and Dr. Sunil. As all of knew that the Dr. Rajalben is known for something different, that hatke. So this program is little bit hatke. That's obstetric practice, kal, aaj or kal. First of all, we will start our program with blessing from our beloved and respected seniors and mentors. So, I am inviting a small video from Dr. Vilasben. Dr. Vilasben is from 1962 to 1990. She was in different positions as an assistant professor, associate professor, and professor. She was the first trained laparoscopy from Johns Hopkins Hospital, and in Gynec Society also she has worked as a president, as well as she has worked for 2 years with Dr. Ankleshwarya as a joint secretary for the FOCSI. Rushal Bhai, please share the video of Dr. Vilasben. Roshel Bhai.
Dr. Rajal, yes. The president of the Ahmedabad Obstetric and Gynec Society, and Dr. Sunil Shah, the secretary of the society, and the other members of the managing team, plus the whole Ahmedabad Society members who are attending this. At present, the subject selected by the team is before and after COVID, and it is a very good subject because up till now we were thinking of the patient and her baby, and now we have to think about ourselves and our staff also because of the COVID-19. I wish the team a very good and fruitful year. Dr. Rajal and her team. Thank you for inviting me. Dr. Rajal, the president of the Ahmedabad Obstetric and Gynec. Dr. Rajal, the president of the Ahmedabad Obstetric and Gynec Society, and Dr. Sunil Shah, the secretary of the society, and the other members of the managing team, plus the whole Ahmedabad Society members who are attending this. At present, the subject selected by the team is before and after COVID, and it is a very good subject because up till now we were thinking of the patient and her baby, and now we have to think about ourselves and our staff also because of the COVID-19. I wish the team a very good and fruitful year. Dr. Rajal and her team. Thank you for inviting me. At present, the subject selected by the team is before and after COVID. It is a very good subject because up till now we were thinking of the patient and her baby, and now we have to think about ourselves and our staff also because of COVID-19. I wish the team a very good and fruitful year. Dr. Rajal and her team. Thank you for inviting me.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, respected seniors and dear colleagues. We are very happy to start. Hello? Yes, sir.
Oh, 1 minute. Just one announcement was there that ICOG has credited 1 point for this CME. So this is the also achievement that we will get the 1 point after who attend this CME. Okay, that's any carry on.
Good morning, everyone, and we are very happy to start our new year with Dr. Rajalben and Dr. Sunil sir. And we are very happy to have received blessings from Dr. Shirish Daftari sir from Bombay. He is a professor emeritus of obstetric gynecology, Navrozji Wadia Maternity Hospital, and he has been a past president of Federation of Obstetric and Gynecological Society of India. I would like to narrate his blessings, which he sent us through a email. With your all permission, I just narrate the letter of blessings from Dr. Shirish Daftari sir. To the President AOGS, thank you for your kind invitation to me to participate in the proceedings of your meeting on the evolution of obstetric practices in India. As an obstetrician, having observed practice over more than 6 decades, I have witnessed a sea change in the practice of our specialty. In the years of practice, I had witnessed a very different profile of patients we dealt with. The primary care accounted for only 30% of the patient load. The bulk of them were multipara, anemia, malnutrition, PPH were common. More than 30% of patients treated at hospitals were emergency transferred cases. Maternal morbidity and mortality were matters of concern. I have witnessed and treated patients of obstetric labor and even performed craniotomies. In my earlier days of practice, we were trained to perform mid-cavity forceps and rotation forceps. Ruptured uterus was an entity we dealt with at least once every month. The introduction of the ventouse led to the decline of the obstetric forceps. Greater emphasis on antenatal care led to reduction in medical disorders in pregnancy. Breech delivery was an art that we cultivated to reduction in medical disorders of pregnancy. Cesarean section accounted for less than 10% of the deliveries. With the introduction of advances, better and effective drugs, sonography, and tests for assessing and monitoring fetal health, the era of fetus as the patient has arrived. In present day practice, greater attention is being to monitoring pregnancy progress. High-risk patients are advised institutional care. Fetal health monitoring has become of paramount importance. MTB has helped prevent birth defects. Difficult instrumental vaginal deliveries have been replaced by a more liberal use of cesarean sections. Labor analgesia has come to stay. The introduction of submerged cannula have played a prominent role in controlling deaths from PPH. This contribution by an Indian colleague has helped save many lives. I thank you for your invitation and congratulate Ahmedabad Obstetric Gynec Society for keeping abreast with advances in our specialty to provide the best of care to our woman folk. Warm regards, Dr. Shirish Daftari. Thank you. Hello.
Okay.
Dr. Sanjay sir.
Haji.
Over to you.
Now we also want the blessing from our beloved Foxy President Dr. Alpesh Gandhi, but he must be he is busy in some another webinar. So as the Dr. Alpesh be joined, we will also take the blessing from the Dr. Alpesh Bhai. Now I invite or request Dr. Dipesh sir to introduce the Rajal ma'am. Rajal, President Rajal ma'am. Sir, please, Dipesh sir.
Dr. Dipesh.
Dipesh sir.
Hello.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah. Welcome everybody in this new era of webinar. મારા ભાગે આજે રાજલની ઇન્ટ્રોડક્શન કરાવવાનું. પ્રેસિડેન્ટ રાજલ. As such, she was assistant professor to me for many years. I know her from the bottom. She is now professor of ObGyn at Sardaben Hospital and NHL Municipal Medical College. She has a special interest in adolescent health, and she has done more than 75,000 adolescent girls and boys in tribal and even Divyang adolescent covered through her lectures across the India. She is very multifaceted personality. She is a all-rounder. She is taking every part in every activities. She has a radio talks and TV talks on adolescent health, safe motherhood, and women empowerment. She is a master trainer for AFHS, Adolescent Friendly Health Services, and Rashtriya Kishor Swasthya Karyakram, HIV and Hepatitis B. So Rajal is very talented. She has taken some time being retirement from the AOGS activity after becoming the joint secretary. And after so many years, I have pulled her again in this activity. અને એનો જસ્તો મને જ જશે કારણ કે રાજલ સાવ ઇનેક્ટિવ થઈ ગઈ હતી અને એને ખેંચીને પાછું હું AOGS ની એક્ટિવિટીમાં લઈ આવ્યો અને એ સેક્રેટરી થઈ and now she has become a president of AOGS. Rajal is very tough monitor as such. During my career in VS Hospital, she was my assistant professor for so many years. જરાય ખોટું ના ચલાવી લે બરોબર અને always in every activity she is taking part, whether it is academics, whether it is sports, wildlife, photography, tour and travels, and he is a very nature lover. અને પશુ પક્ષીઓ સાથેનો એનો મેળાવ તો અત્યંત ખૂબસૂરત છે. હંમેશા એનો ડોગ તો મેં જોયો છે, જ્યારે ડોગ માંદો પડ્યો ત્યારે એ જાતે ઉચકીને એની સારવાર કરાવવા લઈ જતી હતી. એને ઉત્તરાયણ વખતે પક્ષીઓ માટે કંઈ પણ જરૂર હોય તો ઓલવેઝ એની ટીમ હાજર હોય. સો I love her nature towards animals and birds. So she is very perfectionist president for AOGS, and I wish her very good year ahead with her team and all the blessings from me. Thank you very much.
Madam, now Dr. Rajal Ben will give the welcome speech. Please, madam.
Thank you, Sanjay bhai, and thank you, Dipesh bhai, for kind introduction. I wish કે આપણા VS ના દિવસ પાછા આવી જાય અને હું પાછી AP થઈ જાઉં.
Oh.
If at all that is possible, because nobody, I mean, I don't like to become older and older. આપણે નાના હતા એ વધારે સારું હતું અને હજુ ચાલે તો 9મા ધોરણમાં પહોંચી જઈએ. But it's not in our hand. On behalf of Team AOGS 2020 and 21, I welcome you all. There is a proverb, man proposes and God disposes. But now we have to change this proverb that man proposes and corona disposes. આપણે એમ કહેતા કે રામ રાખે એમ રહીએ, પણ હવે અત્યારે એવું કહેવું પડે એમ છે કે કોરોના રાખે એમ રહીએ. અને એટલા માટે મેન પ્રોપોઝિસ એન્ડ ગોડ ડિસ્પોઝિસ કે અમે લોકોએ એટલા બધા પ્રોગ્રામ્સ વિચારેલા ઇન્સ્ટોલેશનમાં. કાજલ ઓઝા આવવાની, મારી મિત્ર છે, એને બોલાવવાની હતી, અજયભાઈને બોલાવવાના હતા, બટ વી કુડ નોટ ડુ એનીથિંગ. બટ દેન જેમ કોરોના રાખે એમ રહીએ, વી હેવ સ્ટાર્ટેડ અવર એક્ટિવિટીઝ થ્રુ ઝૂમ સેશન્સ. અને એક રીતે તો મને લાગે છે કે આ ઝૂમ સેશન એટલા માટે સારા પણ છે કે આપણો ઘણો બધો સમય અને બીજી એનર્જી બચી જાય છે. કારણ કે આપણે જે પણ કામ કરતા હોઈએ અથવા આપણી ઓફિસમાં હોઈએ અને ત્યાંથી આપણે લોગિન થઈ અને વી કેન ઇન્ટરેક્ટ વિથ વર્લ્ડ. So we have taken over the charge of office on 31st May, and we have started one extracurricular group for the AOGS. So far we have been so much, deeply involved in all the kind of academic activities and, seminars and laparoscopy workshop and sonography workshop. And we have never known the other part or other extracurricular hobbies or what my colleague is doing. I was not knowing. But with this group, we have come to know that so many of us are so much talented, having so many great, hobbies, and those hobbies even they can, go into their first profession as well. So I'm very happy that we have started that extracurricular group. On World Environment Day, we made one video on what our members are doing to help our environment. And also we have made one small PDF file of green thumbs. How many of us are having the stories on their own plants? We all also had a Foxy CME on that very same day. Also, we did 2 webinars. One was on the digital technologies through HitCon and another was SOGOG just 3 days back. And today we had a morning session of yoga. And I apologize all of you that because that session took little longer, so we could start this program 18 minutes late. So I'm sorry for that. Not taking much of the time. Future programs, I am just giving some ideas. Once lockdown and other, social distancing norms will be, lifted up, we will start our regular activities. But till then, we will be meeting through webinars. And one of the important webinar series is coming is Meet the Legends. So in these, our senior professors and their students will be taking their interview. I'm also looking forward to start a PG series. And every week, I want to start one lecture through webinar. And that even after the lockdown and the social distancing will be over, I'm going to continue with the webinars only because students don't much. Sometimes they're busy in their wards and OT and they can't come to AOGS or the venue. So it's better to be continue that thing throughout the year through the webinars and nothing much more. I'm committing anything. I believe that I should do karma nevadikarasya. My team, we assure that we are going to work hard. If any mistake is from our side, please draw our attention and we'll try to rectify you. Thank you very much and I welcome you all.
Thank you, madam, for
one more thing I just want to Sanjay, today is a Father's Day. Also, there was a yoga session. We had an international yoga session. We are in a process of announcing the prize of. We have asked for the essays. So Nivedita is already here. You can see her. And Delhiwala Sahib is also coming because we have received the results from all our 3 esteemed judges, Meera Desai, Dr. Parul Kotawala and Dr. Mukesh Bhavisi. So we are assembling it. So by the time webinar is over, we will be able to, announce the result. And secondly, we are coming up with that compilation of essays that we are releasing today in the evening. So we will be sending link to all of you. Thank you all, and you can continue the program.
Thank you,
madam. Very nicely you have told that what you did and what you want to do in future. So now for the next speaker, may I invite Dr. Saswat Jani. Dr. Saswat is a consultant assistant professor in the Department of the ObGyn at the Srimati NHL Medical College. Is very enthused and he will speak about the stalwarts of India in gynecology. Please, Saswat. Saswat.
Sanjay, we have even Alpesh sir with us.
Alpesh sir is on?
Yes, Alpesh sir is here. Sir, kindly
Alpesh
give
sir?
us your blessings to us.
Yes, I am there, Sanjay.
Okay,
Yes,
sorry, sir. I am just waiting for you.
we would like to have your
First we will take the blessings. Yes, Darshini, you are right. We will take the blessings from
Thank
Dr.
you so
Alpesh
much,
sir. So all of you know that the Dr. Alpesh Gandhi is from us, and he is the now current president of FOXI. Was the vice president of FOXI in 2013. He prepared the FOXI's GCPR, FAQs, and National Registry on Pregnancy with COVID-19 Infection. He is a resource person to present guidelines of establishment of the obstetric HDU ICU for Government of India. He is resource person to prepare operational guidelines to obstetric HDU for Government of India also. His book on principles of critical care in obstetrics is available in more than 5,000 world-renowned medical libraries and translated in Chinese and Spanish language. That is very much proud of us, sir. RCOG has awarded him with honorary FRCOG. He is instrumental for establishment of many obstetric HDU across India. Received Best Society, Best RCH Activity, and Best Publication Award from FOXI. And lots of achievements is with Dr. Alpesh Gandhi. It's a long list, but I will not go through the list. Please, sir, we want the blessing from you, sir.
Sanjay, thank you very much for the kind introduction, but I think I do not require any introduction. Only the one word which you have used at the beginning is from us. I think it is enough. So I am one of you, and that is the most proud words and introduction for me. I must congratulate incoming team, under the able leadership of Dr. Rajalben. We know that all of them, Rajalben, Sunil, Munjal, and all the team members are very working since so many years, hardworking, dedicated, very committed. We can say they all are like soldiers as well as leaders. And you all are taking time, you are taking responsibility in a difficult time. As Dr. Rajalben herself has mentioned about the coronavirus pandemic, we all are the witness. This is the one of the biggest health challenge of the century, a global crisis, a global enemy. We are also not spared. And as Dr. Rajalben has mentioned, when I also took over at Lucknow as the FOXI president, I was not knowing what is going to be happened in next few weeks, and all the plans which we have made together for FOXI since last 1 year are there, and we have to immediately switch over to something else work. I'm happy that with support from all of you, we are trying our best in this difficult time. Rajalben, તમારા આર્ટિકલ્સ રેગ્યુલરલી ન્યૂઝપેપરમાં આવે છે, and let me inform you, I am also a regular reader, a fan of your articles.
Thank you.
And I am thankful કે મેં તમારી આ સ્કિલનો આપણે જે FAQ બનાવ્યા એમાં ગુજરાતીમાં COVID-19 માટેના જે ફોક્સીની FAQ બુક બનાવી એનામાં તમારી મદદ લીધી. It was not my job. I was knowing it is not possible without you. So thank you very much for making FOXI's FAQ on coronavirus to solve the queries of all our healthcare providers and patience. Rajal Ben has made this in Gujarati for Foxy. અને દીપેશભાઈએ જે ઇન્ટ્રોડક્શન આપી એમના દરેક શબ્દ સાથે હું ફૂલ્લી એગ્રી છું. અ ટ્રુ બર્ડ લવર, એનિમલ લવર, નેચર લવર. મારા ઘરે પણ એક વખત એક કબૂતર પંખામાં આવી ગયું હતું અને મેં તરત રાજલબેનને ફોન કર્યો હતો કે હવે મારે શું કરવાનું આગળ આના માટે, અને એમને મને ગાઈડ કર્યો હતો અને એ કબૂતરને અમે સારી રીતે બચાવી શક્યા હતા. સો થેન્ક યુ રાજલબેન. તમારે ઘણી બધી મલ્ટી ટેલેન્ટેડ અને ઘણા બધા ફિલ્ડમાં સર્વિસીસ છે. વી ઓલ નો ડોક્ટર સુનિલ, હાર્ડ વર્કિંગ, વેરી યંગ, ડાયનેમિક, એક્ટિવ, ડેડિકેટેડ. ઘણા બધા શબ્દો ઓછા પડે તેમ છે. વી હેવ અ વેરી એન્થુઝિયાસ્ટિક ટીમ એન્ડ આઈ એમ શ્યોર AOGS સાથે કામ કરવાની ખૂબ ખૂબ મજા આવશે. આ ડિફિકલ્ટ ટાઈમમાં પણ આપણે બધા ખૂબ સારી રીતે આપણા મિત્રોની, આપણા મેમ્બર્સની, આપણા પેશન્ટ્સની કેર લઈ શકીશું એવો મને વિશ્વાસ છે. અને મને વિશ્વાસ છે કે આપણી આ નવી ટીમ AOGS ને નવી ઊંચાઈઓ પર લઈ જશે. અમે બધા પણ સાથે છીએ. એટ એની ટાઈમ વી ઓલ આર ધેર. અને બહુ સારો સુયોગ છે કે ફોક્સીમાં પણ અત્યારે AOGS લીડ કરી રહ્યું છે. સો આપણે સાથે મળીને ઘણા કામ કરી શકીશું. તમારા દરેક પ્લાન સફળ થાય તેવી શુભેચ્છાઓ. હેપી વર્લ્ડ એન્વાયરમેન્ટ ડે, અરે હેપી વર્લ્ડ યોગા ડે એન્ડ હેપી ફાધર્સ ડે. આપણે બધાએ હજુ આ અનસર્ટન ટાઈમ ક્યાં સુધી ચાલુ રહેશે એ ખબર નથી, પણ ઇટ્સ અ લોંગ ફાઇટ. It's sad to inform all of you that one of our very, very active and gynecologist, Foxian and a great academician, Dr. Parag Patil, my friend, today he has left the world. He was admitted because of coronavirus since last 15-20 days. મારી એક જ વિનંતી આપ સૌને, મને ખબર છે તમે બધા બહુ, I am thankful that in difficult time you all are doing great service. You are continuing the essential services, maternity service, family planning service, abortion service, all the essential services. You all are doing great work in this difficult time by continuing all these services. But my request, my worry is please, please, please take care of yourself. Safety is very, very important. And please continue the essential services, but please take care of yourself. With this, once again, હાર્દિક શુભેચ્છાઓ અને અભિનંદન સાથે રાજલબેન, સુનિલ, મુંજાલ અને નવી ટીમને ખૂબ ખૂબ અભિનંદન અને શુભેચ્છાઓ.
Thanks,
Thank you, sir,
Alpesh
for welcoming us.
Yeah, thanks Alpesh bhai for giving the blessing. તમારા ચારે હાથ અમારા ઉપર હોય એટલે અમારે ચિંતા કરવાની જરૂર નથી. AOGS ને ફોક્સીના હાથ હોય એટલે
ફોક્સીના હાથ બોલ ભાઈ, મારા હાથ નહીં બોલ, આપણે સાથે.
Now you are the power of Foxy. And now I will invite Dr. Shashwat Jani to deliver his lecture. Please, Shashwat.
Dr. Shashwat Jani. Dr. Shashwat? He's lost again?
No, he's ready.
Yeah, thank you, Shashwat.
Yes.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay.
Continue.
So, good morning, everyone. I am talking on behalf of Dr. Sunil Shah. He has some social emergency. So I am presenting his presentation on stalwarts of gynecologists. These are the few different names you all know. These are few interesting photographs of the legends who have worked in the field of gynecology. So I am starting one by one because I have only 15 minutes. Starting from Dr. K. Das, he wrote a treatise on the obstetric forceps and designed one to suit the Indian population because for the South Asian population. He was a prominent obstetrician and medical educator from India. He was born on 1867 in Kolkata and left the world on 1936 at Kolkata. His books on obstetric forceps, its history and evolution, we can find it in the various libraries of the medical colleges. And he was basically he designed the modified long curve obstetric forceps for the use in delivery of the babies of Indian women who typically have a smaller pelvis and babies with a lower birth weight. And these are his forceps, and that was used for the almost all the seniors must have used these forceps. Next is the Dr. N.A. Purandare, and his down-to-earth clinician. He taught us the importance of the clinical examination. He established the role of position of anterior shoulder to judge the progress of the labor without performing a vaginal examination. And that is more important because of nowadays when patients are not allowing for the PV examination during labor, we can judge by this abdominal examination method and to rule out the CPD and in the exaggerated lithotomy position test. The anterior shoulder as a guide to the engagement of the head and to the progress of the labor. That method was published by Dr. N.A. Purandare in February 1936. This is his paper. Next is Dr. Lakshman Swami Mudaliar, and this much celebrated celebrity was a great academician, and he left his imprint on the profession by publishing a textbook on various obstetric topics, and these books are still read by our PG students. And Sir Arkad Lakshman Swami Mudaliar was an Indian educationist and physician, and he was the identical younger twin brother of Sir Arkad Ramaswamy Mudaliar. Initial education was in Cornell, and then they moved to the Chennai in 1903. Clinical Obstetrics, first edition was in 1938 and later revised by Mudaliar and Menon. And this book is still read by our PG students. He was knighted in the 1945 for New Year honors and awarded Padma Bhushan in 1954 and Padma Vibhushan in 1963. And he was the general president of the 46th Indian Science Congress held in 1959. We all know Professor Subodh Mitra. He will be remembered forever for his contribution in the field of oncology. Dr. Mitra's operation for the cervical cancer was added to his skills and expertise. Subodh Mitra Cancer Hospital Research Center at Kolkata is still there, and they are doing the excellent work for the oncology. And he was the eminent obstetrician gynecologist in India, and he is the founder of Mitra Operation for the cervical cancer. He developed a technique of the surgery for cervical cancer. His technique was well appreciated all over the world, and it was developed by the S. Mitra for cervical cancer, namely extended radical vaginal hysterectomy with extraperitoneal lymphadenectomy, and was officially announced by British, American, and German gynecological conferences. And he demonstrated this technique in Vienna in 1950. For taking the vaginal sling operation as an alternative to Fothergill's operation. V.N. Shirokar, he was a reputed Indian obstetrician and gynecologist hailing from the state of Goa. Is it audible?
Yes.
Okay. He was born in 1899 and left the world in 1971. He was awarded Padma Vibhushan and Padma Bhushan. And chirurgical cerclage is a very similar to the standard cervical cerclage, but the suture passes through the walls of the cervix, so they are not exposed. And these types of cerclage is less common and technically more difficult than MAC donor, and is thought to reduce the risk of infection. Though it's not proven, but still there are chances to reduce the risk of infection. The chirurgical procedure sometimes involves a permanent stitch around the cervix, which will not be removed, and therefore cesarean section will be necessary to deliver the baby. It was first described by Viren Shirokar in Bombay in 1955. Dr. Krishna Menon, an innovative lighting cocktail regimen to treat the severe PH and eclampsia to save many lives. Dr. These are astute clinicians, educationists, and more of the poor society. Padma Shri Doctor and engineer was a gynecologist and obstetrician in Lucknow, and as Doctor Department of Gynecology.
It is not audible. Hello? Okay.
Okay. Darshini, you can introduce next speaker.
Now, I would like to humbly invite Dr. Vishakha Ben, a very senior gynecologist. She has done her Okay.
Okay, let him finish. Let him.
So are we connecting to Dr. Shashwat again?
Yes, I am connected.
Okay, Shashwat.
Okay,
sorry,
Shashwat.
I will finish within 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
No problem. Continue.
Sorry. Can you see the presentation?
Yeah.
Yes,
Continue.
we can see the presentation.
Okay. Dr. B.N. Purandare, a wizard with the knife, he promoted vaginal route of hysterectomy, an astute clinician, and he was the first Indian gynecologist to be nominated for the post of FIGO, International Federation of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Dr. K.M. Masani, Dr. C.S. Don, and this education is published medical textbook, and still we are reading the many textbooks written by them. They have set the standards of practice relevant to our subcontinent for the South Asia population. Professor Masani was the editor of the Indian Journal of the Obstetrics and Gynecology of India, and Professor Don improved prenatal care by propagating his rule of 10, that is very popular. And this helped in improving quality of care, of prenatal care in India for the poor population. Dr. B.D. Patwardhan, he will be remembered for his technique, and still we are using his technique for the delivering babies at cesarean section and deeply engaged head and in transverse lie. Professor C.G. Saraiya, an erudite teacher, walking encyclopedia, and he emphasized the importance of dignity of the patient and her well-being during the formulation of her treatment plans. And C.G. Saraiya, CME, we all know during the ASUG as the maximum attendance. Dr. S. Das Gupta, teacher of teachers, forever up to date in his knowledge, clear in his concept, and strict disciplinary. Dr. D.K. Tan, a people's person, he rose to become the president of FOXY, Asia Oceanic Federation of ObGyn and South Asia Federation of ObGyn. He worked hard to establish the close working links with the government in formulating programs and concerning women's health issues. Dr. V.N. Purandare, a popular teacher, excellent surgeon, and promoted endoscopy in our country. As president of FOXY, he organized workshop. He was editor of Journal of Obstetric Gynecology Society in India. Dr. R.D. Pandit, a popular teacher, former president of FOXY and AOFOG. He was the editor of our journal, and he contributed immensely to promote academic activity, mainly in the medical colleges, and he was the founder president of AOGS. Professor N. Roy Chaudhary, a teacher of great repute, well known for promoting Mitra's operation and radical vaginal operation that treat the cervical cancer. Dr. Siddharth Khandwala, a pioneer in bringing endoscopy to the India, and he was secretary of the IAG. Dr. Shirish Daftari, a living legend from the Mumbai. He is originally Gujarati. He has written many books for the students and helped many junior gynecologists to achieve new heights in academics and professionally, and found program labor and daytime obstetrics we are using, and it's a very useful for the day-to-day practice, even in low resource area. Dr. Shirish Sheth, a senior consultant from the Mumbai, past president of the FIGO and Foxy, master vaginal surgeon, and many contribution in the field of Dr. C.N. Puran, and a senior consultant from the India, and he is practicing at the 3 leading hospitals in the Mumbai. He is Dean of ICOG and Emeritus Editor of the Journal of the Obstetrics and Gynecology of the India. Dr. Indira Hinduja, pioneer for the gift technique, resulting birth in the first gift baby on the 4th January 1988. Previously delivered the India's second test baby at KEM Hospital in 1986. She also credited developing the technique for the menopausal ovarian failure patients, giving the country's first baby out of this technique in 1991. Subhash Mukhopadhyay, we all know him. He is an Indian scientist physician from the Hazaribagh, Bihar, who created the world's second and India's first child using IVF. Kanupriya Agrawal Durga was born in 1978 and just 67 days after the first IVF in UK. Afterwards, he was arrested by the West Bengal state government, and then he committed suicide in 81. And these are Dr. Praful Munshi, Dr. Bairam Ankleshwar, and Dr. Raju Bankar, legends of the Ahmedabad ObGyn Society, and Dr. S.C. Pandya, Dr. S.B. Ankleshwar, Dr. Girish Bhai, Dr. Tanumati Ben Shah, Dr. Praful Munshi, Dr. R.M. Natkani, Dr. Raju Bankar, Dr. N.T. Vani, retired teachers of today like Vilas Madam, Devendra Madam, Vishakha Madam, Dr. Atul Munshi Sir, Dr. Ajit Rawal Sir, and many more. Also to add, some leading teachers and practitioners from the Gujarat, Dr. Rohit Bhatt, Dr. Thakurbhai Patel, Dr. Bhatt Sister, and Dr. Pankaj Desai. My apologies. I tried to find out all stalwarts of India in the field of gynecology, but I must have missed many stalwarts, and that is not intention. I'm sorry. Thank you. Sanjay Bhai.
Yes. Darshini.
Hello.
Darshini. Please carry on.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Sunil sir. Though you were not there, but we received quite a tribute to our senior respected doctors, and our generation got a knowledge of the legendaries, and that would be a quite inspiration to us all. Now, I would like to humbly invite Dr. Vishakha Ben for the next speech. She received her MBBS degree from Stanley Medical College, Chennai in the year 1957. She got her DGO degree under Dr. Krishna Menon in 1960. She was awarded the Dr. Mudaliar Prize. In 1961, she came to Ahmedabad. In 1963, she did her MD under Dr. Natkani. In 1996, she joined VS Hospital as honorary assistant to Dr. Pandya and worked as undergraduate and postgraduate teacher. In the same year, she started private practice in Khadia, Ahmedabad. In 1993, she took voluntary retirement from VS Hospital. So kindly, Dr. Vishakha ma'am, kindly we would like to hear from you. Thank you. Dr. Vishakha ma'am.
Thank you, Darshini. I am really thrilled to see all the doctors here whom I had seen years ago in VS, and I really appreciate their presence. I don't know. There are lots of compliments were given, whether I deserve or not, I don't know. But anyway, I was thrilled to accept the invitation from Dr. Rajal. She was with me in VS. She was a student. We had very close association, even otherwise. She was my neighbor where I was staying. That was another one. Anyway, now thank you for the invitation to attend this very, very clinical subject. Practice in those days, practice in that era when no facilities were available for the present facilities, and we had to go only by clinical judgment. Whenever a patient came, we were very sure to hear her complaints first, and that becomes a proximity. The patient feels that we are close to them and they are concerned with them. So they will come out when we ask them in that way. Of course, listening to the complaints were very, very important thing in the era of non-availability of the modern facilities. Then, previous history was taken in a nice way, obstetric history, general illness, whatever she had earlier. The other one was to examine the patient, thorough physical examination, and local examination was also important. And the most important of all these things was the clinical judgment. We came to that. I don't know whether it will be out of place if I cite a small example here regarding the clinical judgment. I was working as honorary, I was a senior registrar to Dr. Pandya in that year. She was a senior most, very practical lady, very intelligent, very observant, and I learned a lot of clinical obstetrics from her. I was her senior registrar. There was an incident that an unmarried resident of VS Hospital was admitted with lots of pallor, low blood pressure, diarrhea, every unmarried resident of VS Hospital. She just came to see her as the superintendent then, and just standing at the door, she said she has ectopic. We were flabbergasted to say this in public in front of so many doctors that she has ectopic and unmarried resident. I think Ajit must be knowing about that. I'm not sure. And then she said, just take her to the theater and keep 2 or 3 bottles ready. Everything was done. And to everybody's surprise, it turned out to be ectopic. This is just to stress the important clinical judgment in those times. Even now, it is definitely feasible, and that is possible, and that is necessary. This is just to stress. And that comes only by severe experience, observation, skill, everything. So many other things. Now, as I told you, when a patient comes to you, you have to be closer to listening to the patient, her complaints, past history, clinical judgment. I would like to divide this practice, obstetric week that was in 60s, into obstetrics and gynecology. You must know that it was obstetrics was not like this at the present time, even the gynae practice. So many facilities were not available at all. A regular antenatal checkup in obstetrics was very, very necessary. And if they had come very regularly, so many information we could have got. Malpresentation, medical problems, everything could be extracted from her from the history taking of the previous pregnancy. It was not the time of Corona, but Corona. That was the motto we had to do that. Corona, it took lots of courage, a lot of insistence that we had to follow in our regular checkup of the antenatal patients. Antenatal checkup was not that easy. Patients were reluctant to come to the regular antenatal checkup in those times, even from the city area, apart from the rural areas. Once the pregnancy was diagnosed, he will just say, all right, we'll come at the end of the labor. So many things could have happened during that time. malpresentations, APH, and so early pregnancy, abortions, ectopic pregnancy. We would have missed everything because of the lack of regular checkup and their irregularity and their reluctance. Whatever it was, I don't know. But anyhow, we have to coach the patient and explain to them the importance of regular antenatal checkup for their own sake and for their child's sake. This was when the modern technology was not available. The importance of all these things I'm stressing because we didn't have anything, no modern facility at all in those times. My seniors or some of the colleagues also may be knowing that was the difficulty when we faced this problem. When they came with antenatal checkup later on, by insistence, we would have missed the malpresentations, the breech delivery, transverse slide. Nothing could be done at that time when they come in the labor or little in the third trimester of the pregnancy. We tried to help them, and there was no use of scolding them because we had to manage. We had to manage them with whatever little facilities we had at that time. Breech presentation, transverse slide was very common in those times. Patients used to come in labor with hand prolapse outside. We have seen that. And it was a difficult job to save the mother and the fetus. Leave the fetus to save the mother also. It was very difficult without any modern facilities. Surgery was the only thing. We have done decapitation. I don't know whether you have seen any decapitation or you might have heard about it, but we have undergone that. We have done that with whatever little facilities we had in the VS hospital, none other places. VS hospital, I was working with Dr. Pandya. And thanks to Dr. Pandya, she was an excellent obstetrician, a clinician, and an excellent surgeon. I have learned a lot from her. I had learned a lot from her. Then I did my MD, as you know, in Madras, in Chennai. And then I came here in 61. Dr. Nadkani, who was hailing from Mumbai, he was just appointed as a postgraduate student in VS Hospital. I was registered under him. I came here under the persuasion of my colleague, who persuaded me to come to Ahmedabad, not Chennai, because I couldn't do MD there just because of the Kamraj Nadar's rule that before you go to a post-graduation, you have to serve the rural area for 3 years. Imagine. So I had come down here the persuasion of my friend, a pen friend, Dr. R.N. Banker. Then I joined Dr. Nadkani as the first postgraduate student. I couldn't get a residency because I was hailing from other states. Though I was a Gujarati, because I was hailing from Madras, Chennai, I wouldn't get a residency. But during residency, I learned lots of things by observation. And then I was transferred. After I got my MD in 1961, I was transferred as a senior registrar to Dr. S.C. Pandya. And I learned from her such a lot of clinical judgment and etc. I'm thankful to her even if she's not there. Then I joined as an honorary assistant to her. And then, of course, undergraduate and postgraduate teacher in the NHL Municipal Medical College. In those era, when these brief presentation, malpresentation, I told you, rupture of the uterus. The patients used to come walking with the rupture of the uterus. You can imagine. And when you were operated, we were flabbergasted to see such things and how she survived. She survived in spite of us. Only that fell up, he could manage him, perhaps. This type of practice we have undertaken during our era of non-availability of the modern facilities, including anesthesia, operative techniques, everything. Blood transfusions were not available as easily as we get now. Forget about the blood components. We could not manage. And all these things were difficulties we faced. And somehow, by God's grace and by the seniors, we could do that. And of course, it was the patient's luck or patient's luck, I would say, that they were saved during that time. Multiparity was another problem. Abortions in the early period, habitual abortion, all these things were to be treated. We couldn't diagnose anything. Just clinically, we had to go for the reason or the cause or etiology of habitual abortion. No hormone estimation was done. No sonography was there. No, even X-rays were permitted only after 5 months of pregnancy for the fear of radiation effect on the fetus in the early period of the thing. Afterwards, no fetal deformities were detected, even by X-rays. Twin pregnancy was something we could detect, but only after the delivery was over, we could detect the fetal deformity. Those were the days we had to face. Ultrasound technique came very late. Blood transfusions, I told you, was not there. Operative techniques, cesarean section was infrequent. Forceps delivery was there. But of course, we used to do accession forceps. We have used Thielen's forceps for the transverse arrest in occipital posterior position. With, of course, so many complications that followed. Lack of good anesthesia was also another factor. Just we had to give nitrous oxide like that, very simple things. And good anesthetists were not there, trained anesthetists. So we had to follow the techniques like this. Coming to gynecology, I would say that very few conditions could be managed, like sterility. Big prolapses, we have operated on coconut-sized prolapse. We have operated on that. Multiparity was the reason, and other factors might be there that we don't go into detail. And like this. And then we introduced, when the patients were reluctant to undergo surgery, we introduced what are known as pessaries. I don't know whether you have seen that pessaries ring, plastic rings like that were introduced inside the vagina to avoid the prolapse of the cervix. That were the things, that were the difficulties we were facing then. You are all blessed. You are all very lucky to have all the modern facilities. But somehow, with these difficulties, we could manage sometimes with, of course, very, very profound knowledge of this thing. VVF and rectovaginal fistula were quite common. I don't think you might have seen a very big fistula and big rectovaginal fistula, iatrogenic, or maybe because of obstructed labor or instrumentation or whatever it is. So there was another factor. There was lack of communication. We wanted to communicate to other doctors for help or something. There was no phones. No residential phones were available at that time. No, they were not available then. So you will be surprised when I joined as assistant to Dr. Pandya, there was no phone in my residence. There was an extension from VS Hospital to communicate me to attend the emergencies in VS Hospital. That was the plight of us. Home deliveries were common. Diane used to conduct home deliveries, and the patients reported from the rural areas, sometimes from the city proper itself. I'll just cite an example. When I was practicing in cardiac, I was called in a residence nearby that a lady has delivered the fetal height, come down immediately to conduct the delivery. You can imagine the plight of mine. To go and conduct a delivery at home, it was such a difficult and frightening thing. Anyhow, I had to go. She couldn't come to the hospital with the head hanging like that. Somehow we conducted, and by God's grace, nothing happened. But so many complications could have happened. And just with the thought of that, I was thrilled, and I just informed my teacher that these things, and I have done this. I said, you are lucky. No complications has occurred. That was the time. This is the way of our practice. This was the time of our practice. This was the period when we practiced with no modern facilities, which are very much done. Sonography, you just diagnose nowadays. Early pregnancy, urine test was done. Immediately you can do. Very few investigations were done during antenatal checkup. RH, blood group, and this blood complete hemoglobin and simple urine examination. That's all was available. No other major, no hormone estimation for amenorrhea or anything like that. So you can imagine our flight. And I'm just thank you for all your attention, whatever, I don't know. I would just like to say that I was thrilled to see all my friends on this very, very long time. And I thank you for the invitation. I have not carried out any lecture or anything during my period of retirement. And this is the first time I'm facing you. I don't know whether I'll be up to your mark. But anyway, thanks for the kind listening. And thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you, Darshini.
Thank you, madam, for your very passionate talk. Madam, it was words of so much enthusiasm, and just hearing you that with so less resources, you do such a good work. So we, with so much of resources, need to be still more passionate and more kind to our patients and be more, studious and attend all the conferences and all the things and be very scientifically oriented. Thank you so much, ma'am. Over to Dr. Sanjay, sir.
Just one line. Thank you very much, madam, for accepting my invitation, and thank you, Parul, also, that she has helped all. Parul, come to the screen, please.
He's coming.
Hi, Rajul. Hello.
Hi, Parul. Parul is Vishakha madam's daughter, Dr. Parul. She is an anesthetist, and they are settled in Baroda. So thank you so much for helping us, and to, otherwise we couldn't have connected to madam. So all credit goes to Parul. Thank you so much. And thank you, madam. I'll come to meet you, Baroda.
And ma'am, your words were very endearing. Thank you once again. Vishakha ma'am, thank you once again.
Just a minute. It was because of Rajal's persuasion that I accepted this at a very long time.
Thank you, Rajal ma'am, for that. Thank you for that.
Thank you, madam. Now, after all this talk, may I invite Dr. Tushar Bhai to conduct the panel discussion on current scenario in ObGyn practice and future perspectives. Dr. Tushar Bhai is a director in the Sushrusha hospital, and we all know Dr. Tushar Bhai is active in ISAR and all the academic activities. Please, Dr. Tushar Bhai. Unmute, sir.
Tushar, sir.
Unmute Dr. Tushar, sir. Rushil, unmute Dr. Tushar, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Am I audible, right?
Yes, now,
Good morning,
sir, we are audible.
Respected senior teachers and my dear colleagues. First of all, let me thank Dr. Rajal and AOGS team for inviting me to be with you on this fine morning. Today, we have a very interesting subject of discussion, the present day ObGyn practice and its future perspective. It is not important to have only knowledge and skill in ObGyn practice. You should have a very good backup in the form of a good setup, which is well equipped and also, am I audible?
Yes,
and
sir. Sir, clearly audible.
Okay, fine. It is equally important to have a well-equipped, safe and secure and decent setup to work, where we can deliver patient care to all our patients. As Dr. Vishakha told about their practice in the past, I was lucky enough to work in that environment during my residency period. I am witness a transformation period where development of various modality in ObGyn practice take place. At present, we are lucky to have various modality in our armamentarium to manage our patient. First of all, let us take ultrasound, which is one of the best tools which gynecologists have. It can diagnose fetal malformation, fetal well-being, early ectopic pregnancy, by which we can avoid surgery. Apart from that, various gynecological conditions are also correctly diagnosed and managed. Today, we cannot imagine ObGyn practice without ultrasound. Second area is endoscopic surgery. Laparoscopy and histoscopic surgery make a lot of difference in the management of the patient. It is a minimal invasive surgery. Sometimes it is a keyhole surgery where it is done through only natural opening. Patients are very happy to undergo this type of surgery. They have early ambulation and resumption of early work. Let me give you one example. When I was a resident, there was a patient of bad obstetric history with recurrent abortions, and diagnosis was septum uterus. So surgery was done, Strassman operation, where laparotomy was done, then uterus was opened, and the wedge resection of the septum was conducted. And again, it was a closure of uterus and abdomen. But today, if you think of that, you will laugh at, because by histoscopic surgery, we can manage the septum by simple metroplasty within 20 minutes, and patient can go home within few hours, and she can resume her duty and normal work from the next day. So this is a big advantage of endoscopic surgery in today's era. Third area is the advancement of infertility management.
Continue, sir. Continue.
Okay.
Forget it. Continue, sir.
Okay. Infertility management make many impossible to possible. 40 years back, it was not even our imagination that a patient of 50 plus years become pregnant. We never imagined that patient of Mullerian agenesis have a pregnancy by her own ova. So infertility management make a lot of difference by advanced IVF management. Fourth is the availability of a blood bank and blood component. We have seen many mortality in a condition, obstetric condition like APH, PPH, DIC and PIA. All these conditions are now well managed because of component therapy and having a PCV, platelet, cryo precipitate and FFP. Another area is associated branch also developed, and development of intensive care unit with ventilators. And more important is critical care specialists are available. So they have saved many lives. Advanced pathology laboratory, where we can have a good biochemistry, hematology and hormonal investigation, and it will help us a lot in the proper diagnosis and its management. And more important is another area is a neonatal backup. Good neonatal nursery and new clinician who are trained in only neonatology will save the baby up to 700 to 1 kilogram very easily. So it made our job very easy. But advancement occur in our field. But at the same time, we should remember that this advancement is because of technological advancement. It is not our knowledge which make this possible. Because of technical advancement, technology will advance, and so that we are getting an advantage. And so it is also costly because there is a big industry behind all these things. So everything which I have narrated is very costly. And as a result, all obstetricians and gynecologists are utilizing this management, but the cost factor is also going high. Now I am telling you why this is important. See, up till now, in our ObGyn practice, in our country, we are doing usually solo practice. One doctor having own small nursing home and practicing ObGyn practice. If you go for this all modality like ultrasound, laparoscopy, and good neonatal backup and pathology backup, infertility management, then the cost factor is going very high. As a result, your investment factor is also high, recurrent cost is also high, and one person may not cope up with that. As a result, there is a stressful environment for obstetrician and gynecologists in this era. And for that, today we have expert panel of 6 or 7 gynecologists who are successful in their practice, and they are doing practice in city of Ahmedabad for last 25 to 40 years. And I want their opinion, how they are doing a practice, what their new idea about the practice, and what they want to give their suggestion for a future generation to practice. So let us consider them one by one. First is a junior most person is a Hemant Bhatt. Hemant is practicing for last 25 years. He is practicing in Khadia. Hemant, could you are online? He is in solo practice. Now I want to know that you are doing a single-handed practice for last 25 years. You are alone as a gynecologist. So tell me about your achievement, your challenges, and your problem as a solo practitioner. I am just giving you one example. In an operation theater, you are facing a patient of bleeding during cesarean. And in such cases, what you can do and how you manage, because blood bank is far away. Now tell us, everybody are listening to you.
Good morning, sir. And at the outset, let me thank Dr. Rajal Ben, Dr. Sunil and the whole team AOGS 2020-21 for inviting me as a panelist in this wonderful discussion. Sir, you have rightly said the solo practice does have its own advantages as well as disadvantages. Let me narrate first the advantages of the solo practice. You are the king of your fortress, let me tell you. So whatever the rules, regulations that has to be decided of your fortress or your nursing home are to be decided by you. How will you run your OPD? What will be the timings? How will be the staff operating during the nursing home hours? These all are with you. You are the ultimate authority. So nobody is your boss. The second thing is, whatever may be the income, it is solely yours. You are not going to get a kind of the part and parcel of a total income as that is in the corporate hospitals. There may not be any exploitation economically as well, because you are the sole earner and you are the sole gainer. So this is the advantage. Yes, there are disadvantages. One, that is you are always on the war footing base, because when you are doing an obstetric practice along with your gynecological practice, obstetric can come at any moment or at any time. But if you are fortunate enough and if you have a well-trained staff, then this well-trained staff can act like your senior registrars for 24 hours, so that you will not be on the first on call if you are having a well-trained staff. You rightly asked that what will you do when there is a bleeding in the operation theater when you are doing a cesarean section. I think this may be the routine kind of an emergency faced in 1 or 2% of the cases when we are doing this kind of an operative cesarean section. But fortunately, let me tell you that since the initiation of my practice, I have made the rule that whenever I am delivering a normal delivery, vacuum, forceps, or a cesarean section, not only anesthetist is present, I'm telling anesthetist. In each and every normal delivery, call anesthetist. And it has helped me like anything. Because the patient is in totally relaxed condition, I could have diagnosed many more vaginal hematomas during that relaxed phase of the pelvis, and I have averted the emergencies. So the presence of an anesthetist during the time of delivery is most important. And second thing, the presence of another senior obstetric partner is most important. And I am very fortunate that Dr. Deepesh Bhai is with me since the initiation of my practice. Hardly I could have done any cesarean section, the assistance and the presence of Dr. Deepesh Bhai. So it has been a greatest advantage to me that any emergency, if at all it has happened, It has been happened. It has been managed nicely. And the other thing is that if you are having good friends at some of the blood banks, they do really help in this crisis also. But you are very right that these are all frightening situations sometimes when you are doing a solo practice. The only thing is you must have a very well-trained nursing staff who is as qualified as that of a senior registrar. He or she may not have the degree, but he or she have all the kind of skills and the maneuvers to attend the primary emergencies at your hospital. And the most important thing, Tushar bhai, is that the gazettes must be there. I have always insisted in my nursing home, I do have a central oxygen line. I do have a monitor at each and every cot. Each and every cot. Not only in labor room, not only in operation theatre, but in general ward, each and every cot, in special room, in each and every cot, I have multi-para monitor. I have defibrillator. So I have the full-fledged Boyle's trolley. So these all things can really do help you with, of course, the ultrasonography 4D investigating mode, so that if you are having this much of gazettes with you, you can really manage the emergency very well.
Safely, right. I'm giving you one suggestion, Hemant, that in all labor patient or obstetric patient or even gynec patient, you send the patient to cross-matching in the blood bank. They will keep the blood ready. Only 200 rupees they are taking a charge. Only 200 rupees. And they will keep cross-matching ready, so you get blood within 30 minutes.
Let me tell you, I must add.
This is a suggestion to everybody.
Even when I admit the patient, even for an MTP, or when the patient is admitted with the labor pains, the first and foremost thing is done by my staff is to secure an IV line and take a cross-match sample, name it and put it in the freeze.
They send it to the blood bank. So they will keep one bottle ready and they will take only 200 rupees in Red Cross. Okay, so very safe.
Okay.
Very safe.
That's good.
You can do it.
Okay.
Evan, very nice. Any suggestion for the newcomer?
I think in the era of the recent times, now the solo practice is becoming more and more difficult. I foresee an era that within 5 to 10 years, it will be a time for a group practice. It does lift up lots of tensions and worries and the stress from the individual's mind. And I think the days are not far where in a particular area, if 3 to 4 gynecologists are practicing, they
make one nursing home and they
will run the OPDs and they will form a common obstetric platform where they will deliver their patients.
See, I have seen anywhere in the world or everywhere in the world, the gynec and obstetric practice is not a separate practice. See, it is a part of general hospital or big hospital or big clinic, private clinic or general hospital. And it is always there. So ICU, blood bank, laboratory, it is a part of that hospital. And ObGyn practice is also that part. In our country, what happened that it was not developed initially. So after independence, there is a gradual development of the hospitals and private unit. And at that time, everybody started their own private hospital, our own center. And at that time, it was right because there was no facility like a big private hospital were there. But now we are able to do it. So there may be scenario may be getting changed. Many corporate hospital, even doctors can also start their own hospital. Now in Ahmedabad, there are many doctors who have started multi-speciality hospital, or like Sims Hospital is a one part where the big hospital is also started by few doctors. And they are running successfully. So that is a one area we should think. Okay. Thank you, Aman.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Second is a Dr. Keyur Shade. He is in gynec obstetric practice for last 25 to 30 years. He and his wife, Ami, both are doing a practice simultaneously. And they are also doing a solo practice. they are usually doing routine general ObGyn practice as well as infertility endoscopy practice. Dr. Keur, you can come online.
Keur, you need to unmute.
Unmute Dr. Keur. Rushil.
That Keur will himself have to do.
Rushil can do it.
नहीं जाते करो ऊपर से क्योर
हाँ जाते करो ऊपर से क्योर पे साइड में
नीचे म्यूट अनम्यूट क्योर भाई नीचे
Okay, Keur.
Thank you,
Yes. You listen my question, Keur. Then I want your opinion regarding your solo practice and the problems and challenges you face during the practice and your suggestion to the newcomer. See, you have vast obstetric experience. I think very few people have a large obstetric practice like you. So you are the right person to guide the newcomer.
So good morning, everybody. And I have a few good memories with most of the people who are seen on the screen right now. And if you are an obstetrician, I think everybody will agree that there is never an advantage. There is always something or the other which always comes up with your good memories. But when I heard Vishaka ma'am, and I'm sure a few of very senior people here who have guided me throughout practice and in life, I think we are in a much better shape than most of you guys. Now, I have just made 4 good and 4 bad points about the obstetric practice in the current day scenario. So, the first good point, as Dr. Tushar sir told, is the amenity availability, like ultrasound, endoscopy, NICU, ICCU, blood bank, laboratory facilities. So, I would not go into the detail, but as we all know, these are coming to the decision and judgment very easy for us. So amenity availability is one of the biggest advantages we have in the modern day obstetrics practice. The second thing is we are very glad about patient awareness and the patient's accessibility to search engines like Google, because if we explain them everything, we positively tell them to see the information on Google, which might not be 100% correct. But when Google says so, most of the people agree with our decision, like say a C-section in a second or a third para, having a healthy baby and having previous normal deliveries. So accessibility to knowledge is second most important good thing that has happened to obstetricians all over the world probably, and especially in a country like India. The third most important good thing that has happened is group practice and trying to find out free time to do things which you like, so that when you actually work in the office, you are in a much relaxed state, which helps you take decisions in a more perfect manner. And of course, office time obstetrics like prostaglandins and so far, a little controversial, but they have made our life easy. You don't have to go sometimes in the middle of the night, and it is a little controversial, but office time obstetrics is a good thing. That's what we feel. And the fourth thing is the state-of-art facilities like big multi-speciality hospitals involving themselves into obstetrics, gynec, infertility, and endoscopy. And in smaller boutique facilities like ours, we have which could be upgraded and it could be for patients who are in search of a boutique care. Now, out of these 4 points, there are a few negative points in each of them, but they have made our life easier. Now, the main 2 things which I would like to say about the amenities is the availability of NICU, ICCU, and nicely practicing, busy, experienced neonatologists and physicians who can handle obstetric complications and pediatric and neonatal complications. And the second most, the best thing that would have happened is the availability of blood. As Dr. Hemant suggested, we have made a few very good friends in the blood banks, and we have done their obstetric and gynec jobs nicely. So, blood availability is not a problem in our set. Now, the 4 bad things which we have come across, which I would like to mention is, right now there is, when we started practice 28 years back, and right now there is a lot of, for your commercial viability, you have to do a lot of advertising, and all the while, you are put into how to stay in the bazaar so that patient will keep on turning at your place. And in that case, you might, as Dr. Vishaka ma'am said, lose out a little on your clinical judgment skills or concentrating on the clinical judgment and seeing the patient actually. I don't know about everyone else, but many times we are like, how would the patient feel if I give it to her on face about the gynec condition or the obstetric condition? So one thing is that. The second thing is there's too much of stress-based programming right now. So, and of course, medical legal issues. The third thing is the cost, as Dr. Tushar sir said. So smaller, boutique, cleaner facilities are better than the larger multi-specialties involving into obstetric, gynec, endoscopy, and infertility practice. But then many patients are, they don't mind paying and coming there, so it's not a big issue. And the fourth thing is the system issue, which is the biggest hurdle right now. You have to face the corporation, the government, fill up the papers, take the consent of it. The corona consent is what we take in which we say that once you go home and you contact corona, our hospital is not responsible. These are a few bad things. Overall, I think, God has been kind. And it's not bad to do obstetrics. Most of the times we have been lucky. Yeah, and one simple line. I was an intern and I was not a very regular intern, but I used to go in internship. And Vishakha ma'am used to be a gynec then. And she taught us, her student, I was not a student, I was an intern, and she taught everybody how to do an external cephalic version in a 28, 29 weeks fetus. And then I was so inquisitive, I went in that antenatal OPD and the baby had turned. So she did it again at 30 to 33 weeks, and eventually that lady delivered normal. In current day practice, Vishakha ma'am would have taught me how to do a good C-section in a breech baby. I guess that sums up the difference between the yesterday's practice and today's practice.
Thank you, Kevin. Any suggestion for the new people who are going to come into practice?
New people are very smart. They acclimatize themselves according to the new current scenario, and they find out their own ways. They are smarter, much smarter than us.
Okay, fine. So they may not see, experience is the best teacher. Even though they are smart, they may not know what exactly going to occur in future. That's why
experience comes naturally by practice. How can I say experience as you or Manish sir or Nagori sir or Ajit sir or Dipesh bhai? It comes naturally.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Next is Dr. Chaitanya Nagori. Chaitanya, you have vast experience. I think you are the most senior. You and Dr. Ajit, we are the most senior in this panel. And you are doing a solo practice from the beginning. Dr. Chaitanya Nagori, please.
Yes. Thank you very much. First of all, to Rajal and her team for inviting me here. My regards to Dr. Vishakha Ben, because I've seen her after a very long time. I would like to tell you some points regarding a solo practice. That whenever you start a solo practice, there should be certain qualities. Otherwise, you should not start the solo practice. You should be a very confident person in all aspects of your life. Means you should be thorough in the knowledge and you should be very confident. Second thing is, it's your responsibility of the whole nursing home or whatever clinic you are having. So your personality should be a risk-taking. Unless you have got a risk-taking personality, then you cannot do a solo practice. You should be a good administrator. I always tell that if you are absent, the hospital should run. But if somebody else is absent, the hospital may not run.
Chaitanya, sorry for interruption. There is one suggestion that during internship or after residency, at least 6 months of the MBA should be done by everybody.
Absolutely.
There is a part-time MBA course.
I'm coming to that point that you should be a good administrator. Only knowledge will not do, but you should be a very good administrator as well as the financial manager. See, you should know how to finance your... I just give you a simple example that when I purchased a machine of 1 crore rupees of Volution in 2000, everybody told me that why you are investing so much, but how I will calculate? I will calculate the amount of money I have to pay every day as an interest. That will come to somewhere about 4,000 rupees will be an interest per day. So I try to find out how to take the 4,000 rupees I will be able to earn. So that is a good financial management. You should have it. And the best part is that you should focus on something. When you do a solo practice, you have got competitors all surrounding you. So that's why you should focus on something which other people are not doing. This is the fundamental rule of a solo practice, that you must do a thing which other people are not doing, then and then you will go up very fast. Otherwise, you will have to compete. So that's why my dictum is that to all the juniors, that you update your subject, you will compete with juniors. If you don't update yourself, you will compete with seniors. A golden sentence I would like to tell you. That if I don't update, I will compete with my own colleagues and seniors. But if I updated my subject, then I will compete with juniors. A simple example, that when I passed my MD, there was no ultrasound, no infertility, no endoscopy, no IVF. And I'm practicing all these 4 things which I have never learnt in my MD. And that is the reason, because of updating only. And now as I have updated, I am competing with the juniors. I don't have to compete with the seniors. But if I would not have updated, I would have to do a competition with my all seniors. So that's why always update yourself. Now the advantages of this practice is that you can take an independent decision. Suppose you are a group practice, then many a times your decision may not be welcomed by others, and you may not do an independent decision. Second thing is updating of your clinic. If you want to buy some instrument, if you want to buy something, then difference of opinion are likely to occur when you are doing a group practice. But if you are doing a solo practice, then you can do it according to your desire. You have freedom to work also. The best part, as far as the corporate hospitals are concerned, here you can favor the patient. You can take less charges. You may not charge the patient, and you can vary your charges according to the patient, which is not possible in corporate.
Yes.
That you have to.
That is a big advantage.
And your practice, I always tell that your practice is always dependent on this patient. Your future practice is dependent on your present practice. So you help the patient, you treat the patient, and you gain the confidence of the patient. That is an investment, and these are the patients who are going to bring another patients in your future practice. So your practice is always dependent on the present patients. Take care of them, they will take care of you in future very well. Now, and you can develop very good relations with the patient, and that relations can help you a lot. See, I give you a simple example, that whenever a people start a practice, then they consider that we should earn the money as early as possible and as much as possible. Remember, medical profession comes as the last as far as the earning is concerned. You take any bhaji pav wala, any ice cream wala, any dudhiyas of Ahmedabad, more than any doctor. They are earning more than any doctor. But your number is always 11th. I always tell this. I always talk to the junior doctors when I deliver a talk also. But the relations what you get from these patients, they will help you. If you have a patient as a builder, they will help you to invest somewhere your money, and your money will flourish. So not necessarily all the time you are earning from your profession, and that relation can develop only when you are doing the solo practice. The only limitation I would say that you must know your limitations when you are doing the solo practice. When you are anticipating that you are going to get the difficulty from the very beginning, you should have the help available to you. I'll tell you my own example, that since 28 years I'm practicing, and in these 28 years, I'm always a full-time surgeon available to me during all surgeries, from very first day of my practice. I have a gynecologist available to me from the very first day of my practice. So whenever you tackle any difficult case, suppose severe endometriosis, sigmoid colon is attached, so you should not call the surgeon at that time. He should be present when you are doing a surgery. That's why anticipation is very, very, very important. And the last thing I would like to tell you, that you should be a very good counselor with patients. Counseling is the backbone of your practice. If you spend your time in counseling, you won more. 50% of the battle is won by simple counseling. And second point I would like to tell to all the juniors, that invest in your own profession, you will flourish. If you invest outside, you may get more money, but in profession, you will never come up. Suppose you have to buy. See, we upgrade our hospital as a last. We upgrade our bungalow, we upgrade our car, we upgrade so many things. But as far as the equipment are concerned, the number is behind. So other way around, it should be other way around. that you invest in your own profession, a change of ultrasound machine, a change of boys trolley, change of your operation theater. These things are much more important rather than investing somewhere. You will remain in the practice for a very long time. So that's why I tell you that invest in your own profession, you will flourish. If you invest outside, you may not flourish properly. Anything else would you like?
Hey, thank you, Chaitanya, for a very nice elaboration. But here I want to just ask everybody, all panelists, that at present, you have started practice in very early time. But Chaitanya, today, there are at least more than 30 or 40 IVF centers in city of Ahmedabad. Everybody is investing in the instrument. Everybody is taking instrument. I think that is not viable for everybody. And because of that, what happened? The earning will be only for the instrument wala. And doctors will not, instead of that, there are good setup, complete setup, few setup, only 10 or not even 5 or 10 setup of IVF. They are owned by doctors. Everybody invests in a setup, some amount in a share, just like a shareholding or partnership. It is owned by everybody and everybody will go there and do a job. See, this concept is also good thing to develop.
That's a very good thing, Tushar, but I would like to tell you that when you differ in the treatment, when you have only one center as an embryologist center, and if you differ, you want to do in a particular way, it may not be possible.
I think that flexibility can be achieved by negotiation and by planning the center, because it will make your investment less, it is a less headache, and everybody will flourish, I think. Center will also earn and also doctor will also earn. See, similar thing is for endoscopy. See, when you only are there, Chaitanya, then you may not have everything under one roof. See, in IVF also you are lacking so many new things. So everybody has the same problem. But if they are together, there is a few instruments and you can work more. So everybody, see, your OT will be running hardly 1 or 2 hours per day, even after this much seniority. Same thing is in IVF lab also. I think it is only 10% is working. So you are earning enough. That is fine. But see, the utility of this equipment and resources are much less. See, compared to the Western country, what happened? The whole New York City, there are 10 centers of IVF. In Ahmedabad, only we have more than 30 or 40 centers. So there is something everybody should think, I think.
So I think it is something like our drawing room. We hardly use it, but still we equip it.
It is not like a drawing room. It is not. You don't compare. Okay, anyway. Now next speaker is Dr. Manish Bankar. Manish, you have done a solo practice. You have also worked in a partnership practice, and now you are joining the corporate. So let us know your experience and your challenges. Manish Bankar, please.
I think all three ways have their own pluses and all their minuses.
Yes.
The primary deciding factor is what kind of a personality you have and ultimately what do you want to achieve in life. If you have all the qualities for running a solo practice, you have the financial smartness, you have the administrative abilities, you have the risk-taking nature, you have the competence, then doing a solo practice is still the only way to practice because you will be able to manage everything better than anyone else. If you want to do something different and focus only on what you are good at, you do not want to waste your time on administrative skills or financial matters or management issues where you are not the best suited, because ultimately it will come at the cost of your professional or personal life, because there are only 24 hours in a day. So if you are spending 2-3 hours on financial management or on hospital management, it will come at the cost of your personal life or your professional life. So if you want to develop one field and focus only on that, the only way is to delegate or to have groups of people. So the moment you move from solo practice to a group practice, you in a sense divide your responsibilities, because every person will have some positives and some negatives. And if you have 2 or 3 people whose skills are complementary, then 1 + 1 will always be more than 2. Yes, there will always be some compromises, there will be some adjustments, but we need to see what you gain by what you give. It is like a marriage. If you live solo, you can live the life in your own way. The moment you marry, you have to compromise. But still everyone wants to marry because the advantages are far more than the limitations. This is a kind of a professional marriage in which you are entering, and you do it consciously. And the one criteria which is of paramount importance is utmost respect for your partner and utmost confidence in his clinical skills. Unless you have these two things, this will not flourish. So you have someone who is with your own skills as a 24/7 person with you, it will take away a lot of your responsibilities. The moment when you want to still grow, the issue is one, finances. And if you want to especially keep updated, then it becomes almost impossible for every individual. You very rightly said that for an individual to run an IVF clinic, there will always be limitations. You might want to have one incubator per patient, but you do not have sufficient patients or the capital to do this. You might want the latest equipment, which becomes a challenge. So the moment you move out from a group practice into this kind of a corporate practice, your horizon simply widens. The second advantage of this is you will be able to propagate your philosophy to beyond your area of practice. You might, if you think you are unique, you have certain qualities which are lacking everywhere else, this gives a very unique opportunity to expand this across the globe or wherever you want to do this. Again, this might come with a challenge because there could be difference of opinions, but there are very easy ways of managing this. You can have standard operating procedures for the key areas, and beyond and outside the key areas, there is all the flexibility that you need. So you can decide on areas where there will be complete agreement, and there are areas where there will be complete flexibility. And this kind of practice has succeeded everywhere in the world because you are able to pool your resources, you are able to pool your skills, and you are able to optimally utilize. And this becomes all the more important when today establishing a nursing home is so expensive. You spend so much money in your OT. The OT generates all the revenues, but your OT is utilized for less than 10% of your time. So the only way to optimize this is to make your revenue generating parts of the clinic work. And that can only happen when you're working in groups. The ideal way to move into corporate is a doctor-owned, doctor-managed corporate. That would be the best way to run this, because then the decisions are also taken by medical persons and they are best suited to decide what is the best. So rather than an investor or an outsider running a corporate hospital, the best of both worlds is a doctor-run, doctor-owned practice where it is completely under your control and medical practice will always be the priority. Earning money is important, but it will not be the primary priority. So I would again say all three have their pluses or minuses. What are your qualities? What you aim for in life? That is what ultimately you need to look at. The other biggest advantage of group practice is working limited hours. Quality of life, work-life balance cannot be beyond a certain point in a solo practice, whereas in a group practice, work-life balance is absolutely fantastic. And at some point in your life, you will think that maybe work-life balance is more important than simply earning money.
Thank you very much, Manish. You have exactly spoken on the point, and it is very, very correctly said. I fully agree with you. Along with that, I have one question for you. Would you like to see that human body is one? Even though we are doing a gynec practice, there are chances of complication occur in anesthesia or some heart problem or associated other problem. So gynec practice or obstetric practice should be in a nearby hospital or in the same premises so we can handle it properly.
I think if you have a dedicated mother and child hospital which is equipped to cater to the routine emergencies, it should not be a problem. The possibilities of the requirement of a multi-speciality care in an obstetric or gynec setup is very, very remote. Because the moment you move into a multi-speciality hospital, for them, ObGyn is never a priority.
No, not in that way. I'm just telling you in a little bit differently. You are right, absolutely right, that at present in Ahmedabad, whatever the multi-speciality hospital, their goal about gynec is very less. It is true. But if you are making a new venture there are, I think, 40 hospitals in Ahmedabad, multi-specialty hospital. Most of them have ICC. So if gynec practice are nearby to them or in associated with them is done, then you get a free advantage of ICU backup. And you can save a lot of patients, or you make them more safe practice. Our surgery will be more safe under the roof of ICU backup.
The ideal scenario, as I see it, is to have a group of monospeciality buildings in a campus so that the critical care facilities are shared and you have so let us say you have a building where there is one kidney hospital, one IVF hospital, one cardiac hospital, one orthopedic hospital, and there is one central critical care unit or intensive care unit which caters to all of this. This would be the ideal way to practice.
Yeah. But it should be nearby. Yeah. That is very true. Thank you, Manish. Thank you very much. Next session is, next speaker is Dr. Ajit Bhai. Ajit Bhai, you are the most senior person in the panel. You have worked in a solo practice in a big hospital in a big area for many years. You also joined corporate hospital. You also are in a partnership. Please tell us about your experience and your view. Dr. Ajit Bhai, please.
Sir, you need to unmute.
Ajit Bhai, phone karo.
Sir, you need to unmute.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you,
now?
sir. Yes,
Yes,
thank you, sir.
You are audible, please.
Yes, thank you, Rajal Ben. Thank you very much. And my pranam to Vishaka Ben and my all regards to my all colleagues. I think everything has been told in the session, starting from Hemant Bhai to Keur and Dr. Nagori and Dr. Banker Sahib, and everybody has told everything. I think I have nothing to tell you anything about my practice. I started in the era when there is no much investigation and the facilities available, but I was in the group practice to begin with. I got 3 colleagues, Dr. Miss Pandya, Dr. Nanavati and my wife. There will be 4 of us in the group practice, and we do all obstetrics and gynec surgery since so many years in my hospital called as a Nautam nursing home. And the beginning we got almost 40 beds in my nursing home and the large practice, so many years. But the circumstances changes for my practice. The next years passes by, and we gradually getting tired of management, tired of handling the staff, tired of managing with the government issues. For example, Wages Act, post PPF departments, there's several things. Then looking after the nursing home, starting with the auto cleaning of the instruments to the small matters in the hospitals. So gradually the continuation of the practice and the aging process of us and nobody coming behind us to taking over the responsibility of the nursing home. I think I fed up and I got tired also for the management of my nursing home. And one moment of time, I decided that I'll stop practicing solo with my colleague, Dr. Nanavati, because Dr. Madam Pandey has died, Smriti Ben was not so active, and nobody's coming behind us to take the responsibility of the administration and other things. And I find that the nursing home alone does not earn. Every time you have to put some money every year to manage the whole nursing home. Second is to manage the staff issues also difficult for me. And then my aging process of practice, I realized that I'm satisfied with what we have already done in my career. And one moment of time, I decided I'm joining with Dr. Tushar Shah in the Sususa Hospital doing my obstetric, gynec and endoscopic surgery. So this is the decision of circumstances has changed me from a solo practice of obstetric gynec to the corporate practice. And then I got a good colleague in the department where I started in the Sterling Hospital. as a obstetric gynec unit since 2001. And then I got a good colleague with me, now working with me in Sterling Hospital. So I'm very satisfied with the practice working in the social hospital and the Sterling Hospital. And I stopped my nursing home and I'm doing my private practice. And I'm satisfied with what the situation is at present. But last 3 months, my experience is I am remembering my nursing home now. Very unusual. If I could own my nursing home, I should have a little more patience. Because since last 3 months, because of Corona, I was completely not doing any work, not doing any operative work also. Because Sususa Hospital became a Corona hospital. Sterling Hospital also difficult because the patient cannot afford also. And because I have no nursing home now, my patients is not coming to for my delivery and the operative procedures, obstetric procedures also. So all my patients went away the different small areas and their small nursing home for delivery and other operative obstetric practice. So just now I'm remembering my nursing home. So today I'm searching for few nursing homes around me for going for a cesarean section, or I'm sending my patient for a nursing home. So this is the circumstances that changed me for my nursing home to the corporate to the again. I'm little my nursing home. But what my colleagues have told you today in this session of seminar, I think that was the right way of understanding this situation and according to their work. They very nicely told by Dr. Hemant Bhai, Keur Bhai, even Dr. Nagori, and the Dr. Bankar has told the right thing to work today area in the obstetric gynec practice. Thank you, Tushar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, Corona wants us to relax, so there is no disadvantage. They also take some rest.
That is true. That is true. The person like me will
nothing to worry. It is a one experience of lifetime.
Thank you very much, Tushar. Now, but this is what I feel about. I'm telling you what is my feeling about the things happening and going.
I am also with you. I am also without nursing home and I am enjoying it. I am really enjoying it.
I agree with you. Hey, thank you, Tushar. It's nice talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Fine.
Now we have Dr. Dipesh Dholakia. He is a dynamic gynecologist. He is moving from one hospital to another to helping the gynecologist in the surgery. And his dream is to make a good ObGyn hospital for the people of Ahmedabad. Please, Deepak Dholakia, give your opinion, your vision about everything.
Good morning, everybody, and my senior colleague.
Dipesh, I am asking you one question and you answer in that relevance. See, you have worked in so many nursing homes, so many operation theaters, right? And you may have faced some problem during surgery, maybe cardiac problem, anesthesia problem, or during surgery. So in these challenges, so you have good idea that how to minimize this area, what setup you may need to do a good surgical procedure. You are the right person to answer this question.
Tushar bhai, I have worked in every setup. I have done full-time job in VS hospital. I have my own hospital. I am moving in whole of the city and attending 200 to 250 hospitals in the city of Ahmedabad.
Yes.
So I have all the types of the experiences in my life.
So I want your opinion about an ideal setup now.
Yeah. Now the need of the time is solo practice. Forget this. In this era, it is not advisable to do the solo practice. Because why? Why we cannot do? Sahib, કેટલું investment થાય, કેટલું maintenance થાય, કેટલી માથાકૂટ થાય સાહેબ. તમે તમારી પ્રિમાઇસિસ નો મેક્સિમમ સદુપયોગ ના કરી શકો સાહેબ. કેટલો ટાઈમ તમે ઓટી ને આપી શકો? એના કરતા need of the time is the group of the people. They run the hospital and they maximally use whatever the instrument is there, whatever the facility is there. And in this era, you must have every facility. You must have every instrument. Is invited from your area that he attend all the obstetric patient must be delivered at that hospital. You are the in charge of that patient. But in that hospital, every facility is there. Every maternal facility, every neonatal facility, HDU facility, and neonatal ICU, and all the help. You should have team of your colleague that everyone can help in you in the emergency. Always helping hand, sir. But the facility તો હોવી જ જોઈએ. બરોબર, અપ ટુ એન્ડ સાહેબ કશું આઈસીયુ માં ખૂટવું ના જોઈએ સાહેબ. એક પણ પેશન્ટ તમારે ત્યાંથી શિફ્ટ ના થવું જોઈએ. You have to manage your patient in that hospital only. સાહેબ જે લેગ પડે છે, જે કોમ્પ્લિકેશન થાય છે અને પછી જે શિફ્ટિંગ નો લેગ થાય છે ને, અને એમાં જ મેક્સિમમ મોર્ટાલિટી થાય છે. So what I have learned, જે પણ કોમ્પ્લિકેશન થાય એ ત્યાં જ ટ્રીટ કરો. તમારા કલીગ ને બોલાવો, એના કરતા તમારી જોડે જો ટીમ હશે, અને ટીમ શુડ બી એક્સપર્ટ સાહેબ. હું વજાઇનલ સર્જરી સારું કરું છું તો આઈ હેવ ઓલ ધ, મારી જોડે કોઈ પણ કોમ્પ્લિકેશન થાય તો મને ટ્રીટ કરતા આવડવું જોઈએ સાહેબ. ઓબ્સ્ટેટિકમાં કોઈ પણ કોમ્પ્લિકેશન થાય, either you treat or keep the expert person with you all the time સાહેબ. હું હેમંતને ત્યાં સિઝેરિયન કરું તો હું કાયમ એની જોડે હોઉં સાહેબ. That's why we can cut short our complication rate સાહેબ. અને મારે ત્યાં દરેક ફેસિલિટી હોવી જોઈએ સાહેબ. છેલ્લી ઘડીએ સાહેબ હું મોપ શોધવા જાઉં તો એવું ના થવું જોઈએ. હું ઇમરજન્સીમાં કોઈને ત્યાં જાઉં તો બધી ફેસિલિટી એને ત્યાં હોવી જોઈએ. બધા ઇન્વેસ્ટિગેશન એને ત્યાં હોવા જોઈએ. બ્લડ બેંકની ઇનફ ફેસિલિટી હોવી જોઈએ. તો સાહેબ એ કોમ્પ્લિકેશન હું ત્યાં ટ્રીટ કરી શકીશ. અત્યારે એક પણ કોમ્પ્લિકેશન આઈધર મેટરનલ ઓર ફિટલ આ સમયમાં સાહેબ કોઈ પણ ચલાવી લેતું નથી. So you should have zero complication rate, zero neonatal morbidity or mortality. સાહેબ આ સ્ટેજ આપણે લાવવી પડશે. અને અત્યારના સાંપ્રત સમયમાં સાહેબ એક સારામાં સારું સેટઅપ હોવું જોઈએ, સારામાં સારી સ્કિલ હોવી જોઈએ, સારામાં સારું આસિસ્ટન્ટ હોવું જોઈએ, અને સારામાં સારું ટીમ વર્ક હોવું જોઈએ. તો જ અત્યારે કોમ્પ્લિકેશન રેટ તમે ઘટાડી શકો અને મિનિમમ તમે મેડિકો લીગલ કોમ્પ્લિકેશન્સમાં તમે ના ફસાઈ શકો સાહેબ.
And you are
my views. Yeah. And as a mobile gynecologist, I have learned you should be more skillful in your branch.
Yes.
તમારે તમારી સ્કિલ તો હોવી જ જોઈએ સાહેબ. અને તમે જો બધું કરવા જો તો ObGyn ને લગતી જેટલી પણ ફેસિલિટી છે સાહેબ બધી અંડર વન રૂફ હોવી જોઈએ. બધી ઇન્વેસ્ટિગેટિવ ફેસિલિટી, આસિસ્ટન્ટ ફેસિલિટી અને સેટઅપ પરફેક્ટ હોવો જોઈએ સાહેબ. દરેક જણ ઓટી નો મેક્સિમમ યુટિલાઇઝેશન થઈ શકે સાહેબ. લેબર રૂમ નું મેક્સિમમ યુટિલાઇઝેશન થઈ શકે અને ઓછામાં ઓછું મેન્ટેનન્સ થઈ શકે. સ્ટાફ નો હેડેક ઓછો થાય. એટલા માટે અત્યારે સાંપ્રત સમયમાં સાહેબ ગ્રુપ પ્રેક્ટિસ with every facility is required.
Under one roof. Very true, Deepesh. Thank you very much for enlightening us with your experience. Now, friends, these all panelists have given their opinion and they have guided us very nicely. I would like to summarize the same thing in a little different manner. It is just like a think differently. See, everybody should have slight different thinking, and it is something like out of box thinking. See, what is an ideal setup for ObGyn hospital? See, one thing, very important thing, that it should be have 24-hour medical officer, maybe a DG or MD gynec round the clock. Because obstetric care, it is very important. ICU should be nearby because we have many high-risk patients in obstetric, or even normal patient can become problematic because of PPH or inversion, something can occur. So ICU should be nearby and round the clock medicine person should be available there. Very good, well-equipped operation theater and labor room are must. Nearby neonatal backup, it should be on the same premises, so you can transfer your baby in that. And 24/7 medical store, pathology laboratory, blood bank and ambulance services. See, blood bank may not be available, but you may have a storage for blood. So you can get immediately whenever it is required. And all these things under one roof, and availability of the different other branch specialists like gastrosurgeon, physician or critical care specialist, anesthetists, and neurologists should be available at least on call. They should come within 10 or 15 minutes. So this type of setup with 50 plus bedded hospital, and here everybody can do solo practice. See, I know that human mentality in this country is solo practice. So everybody can do solo practice, but hospital admission or utility of the space facility like IVF, endoscopy or labor room should be common for all. So you can utilize maximum operation theater, maximum IVF or maximum endoscopy or labor room. And so it is viable project for everybody. And ownership of this hospital. I don't think that other than medical person should invest. If you are investing in a small nursing home today, it will cost more than 2 to 3 crore rupees. If 10 people come together and invest, then it is more than 20 crore rupees. So you can have a beautiful hospital of more than 50 bedded with all this facility available under one roof, and you can utilize for everybody. So it is good for the patient. It is viable project, and it can be, yes. And Dr. Manish also told very nice thing that there should be some fixed operative manual that should be fixed for everybody, and some flexibility can be given as an individual for their individual patient. So there should be very less ego clashes also. So in such situation, you can manage the show in a future perspective of ObGyn practice in the city. Thank you very much for all the participants for their very nice input. And thank you, Rajal Ben, and thank you, AOGS, for inviting me to be here on this fine morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Tushar Bhai, for narrating very nice debate. May I request Dr. Sunil to say thanks to all the participants. Dr. Sunil.
Thank you very much, Sanjay. Thank you, Dr. Rajal Ben, for inviting me to give a vote of thanks for this wonderful topic, which is a special kind of a topic selected by me and Rajal Ben, Kal, Aaj or Kal in ObGyn practice. And all our faculty have very rightly justify the topic and said very beautifully, starting from dear Saswat, Dr. Visakha Ben, Dr. Tushar Bhai. So I would like to thank Dr. Rajal Ben, a very meticulous president, dynamic president, and team AOGS for everything. Our coordinator, Dr. Sanjay and Dr. Darshini. Special thanks to dear Saswat Jani for taking care of my presentation, because I could not come for the presentation because of the ill health of my mother. She is in ICU. Thank you. I thanks a lot, Dr. Visakha Madam. She has spoken very wonderfully. I took some time and I hear listening to her. She was speaking very beautifully and enlightening us about all these things. I would also like to thank Dr. Tushar Shah sir for taking care what should we do in present era and how we should progress for our peace of mind, and taking very minute care of everything about that thing. I also thanks all the panelists for coming and telling their views regarding the future practice and the present practice. Now I will go ahead with the result related to the Father's Day. So today is a Father's Day, and as a team, we will take this opportunity to say Happy Father's Day to all the viewers and all the faculties today they are here. So in Father's Day, AOGS has planned an essay competition. And in this essay competition, we have received around 38 essays. That's a huge kind of a success we have. We have received 38 essays. And amongst these, 3 essays are from Dr. Rajal Ben, Dr. Mukesh Bavisi Sahib, and Dr. Kruti Deliwala. Dr. Rajal and Dr. Mukesh Bavisi has voluntarily opted to taken their name back from the competition. So we have around 35 essays. For these Father's Day competition essays, we have 3 eminent judges. those who have been working day and night, and it was a very tough job for them. The judges were Dr. Meera Kiran Desai, Dr. Mukesh Bavisi Sahib, and Dr. Parul Kotadawala Sahib. They have done wonderful work. They have done a lot of this thing. And for this essay competition, special structure was designed to give the marks. And this structure was, how was the structure of that essay? So the 25 marks was there for the structure of the essay. How was the logical flow of that essay? 25 marks was given for that. And how they have expressed the Father's Day, 25 marks for that. And the language command, 25 marks for that. So total 100 marks was allotted in this thing. And Dr. Jignesh Deliwala and Dr. Nivedita Vaja, they were the program coordinator along with the guidance of Dr. Rajal Thakur. They have done such a wonderful work for this thing. They have worked day and night for this. They were requesting all the members of the AOGS to write. Those who have not habit of writing also, they have very happily written all this thing. And our judges have said all were very nice in writing all this thing. But ultimately, the winners for this are, I will start from number 3. Dr. Sujal Munshi got the 3rd prize for writing an essay on this thing. 2nd prize is divided between 2, Dr. Chaitanya Bhai Patel Sahib and Dr. Parul Bansal. So they are jointly getting the 2nd prize. And the 1st prize is going to Dr. Pradyuman Vaja. So congratulations to Dr. Pradyuman Vaja, Dr. Chaitanya Patel Sahib, Dr. Parul Bansal, and Dr. Sujal Munshi. So on behalf of AOGS, we thankful to all of you, and I request Dr. Rajal Thakur to conclude or say few words, and then we conclude this webinar.
There is one consolation prize also, Dr. Kanti Bansal.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, sorry. So I forgot there is a consolation prize, because as I said that judges were so happy to see so many good essays. So Dr. Kanti Bansal also wrote a very beautiful essay, and this consolation prize is to Dr. Kanti Bansal. Okay. Dr. Rajul Ben.
So it was a very tough competition, because I have the marks, because we have collected the marks from all 3 judges. Nivedita is right here, and then we have collected all these markings, rechecked and rechecked and rechecked and made the total. And from the 1st and 2nd prize, there is just a difference of 2 marks. And 2nd and 3rd prize, there is just a difference of 3 marks. And 3rd and the consolation, again, a very minimal difference. So I think all essays are at par. And I believe that competition is there, but each essay was a very good. It was written from the heart, and we are releasing the PDF version in the evening, because I'm waiting for the photographs, because I want the essay, whosoever doctor has written the essay, I want their father's picture as well. So I have been requesting them to send me the photographs. I think 4 or 5 photographs are still pending. So we are all compiling that. So I think we are going to send the link of that PDF by evening, and if not, then by tomorrow, because it is ready. But then I just want to make it a complete version with the photographs of all of us. And it's such a beautiful writing. I think when I wish that all members and their friends and the family would read this essay, because all have written from their heart. And it is such a wonderful way that we have celebrated the Father's Day. I thank you all for joining us. I thank all my faculties, my team AOGS 2020-21, Dr. Sunil, Sanjay, Darshini, Dr. Tushar Bhai, and all panelists. Thank you very much. And also thank you for Dr. Vilas Ben, Vishakha Madam, Alpesh Bhai, and Daftari Sahib for their inputs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you,
Thank you very much all.